The scene in Glasgow is set for world leaders. The looming question, will they come with decisive, aggressive plans to protect our planet?
If we don't act now, it will be too late. And we've been saying that for a long time.
Sir David Attenborough dedicated his life to understanding and sharing the natural world. He warns there's no more time to kick the future of the planet down the road.
We've said, well, in the next 10 years or something, and think, oh, well, 10 years' time, that's a couple of budgets away, and politicians won't do things. We have to do it now.
L'accord de Paris pour le climat est accepté.
The climate and political commitments have been discussed for years. Literally. At COP21 in Paris, 196 nations signed on to the Paris Climate Agreement. The legally binding initiative saw countries commit to limit global warming to below 2 degrees compared to pre-industrial levels while reducing greenhouse gases. Now, at COP26, nations are supposed to share what they've been doing and present their next steps. Catherine McKenna is a former Canadian environment minister turned full-time climate advocate.
Transitions aren't linear and they're not perfect. And so, you can't immediately wave a magic wand and say, we're getting rid of oil and gas. We use oil and gas. Everyone is using oil and gas, but we do need to transition.
Time to transition is butting up against the realities of climate change. 2020 was the worst year on record for the accumulation of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. According to the World Meteorological Organization, carbon dioxide levels rose more than the 10-year average. This despite the global shutdown during the pandemic. NOAA, the National Center for Environmental Information, says 2020 was the second warmest year for combined land and ocean temperatures and the warmest for land temperatures.
At 2 degrees.
Alok Sharma is the UK's COP26 president.
If temperatures continue to rise, we will step through a series of one-way doors, and the end destination of which is climate catastrophe.
People around the world are experiencing the devastating effects of a warming planet. Intense storms, fires, droughts, even infestations. Stopping these events will take money, particularly if poorer nations are to be expected to move away from fossil fuels. Fulfilling the $100 billion pledge has been delayed until 2023, but climate financing is still a key discussion point. There are also outstanding issues in the Paris rulebook that must be settled, dealing with carbon markets and offsetting. The stakes are high, and calls for concrete action will be front and center during the 2-week summit. Now, for anyone trying to get to COP26 today from the south, it was virtually impossible. A storm system in the area caused rolling delays and cancellations starting first thing this morning at Euston Station in London. It was so packed with stranded travelers that you really couldn't step anywhere without hitting someone, and the entrance gates were closed. People were told to go home to try to travel tomorrow. There were issues with signals on the lines and blocked tracks. For anyone who did try to make it out, they were eventually turned around and delayed. That included the Environment Minister, Zach Goldsmith. I'll throw it back to you, Robin.
Crystal Goomansingh in Milton Keynes, England.